On a freezing winter morning, the forest can feel almost lifeless. The trees stand bare, the insects are gone, and even the usual chorus of birds seems to have faded. But beneath the snow, inside hollow logs, underground burrows, and rocky crevices, life hasn't disappeared. It has simply slowed to a whisper. This is the hidden world of hibernation, one of nature's most fascinating survival strategies. So why do some animals hibernate? Let's find out right here on History of Simple Things. At its core, hibernation is about energy. For many animals, winter is not just cold, it's scarce. Food becomes difficult or nearly impossible to find. Insects vanish. Plants stop growing. Small mammals that depend on seeds or berries suddenly face a barren landscape. Rather than risk starvation by staying active, certain species have evolved a remarkable alternative. They temporarily shut down much of their body's activity to conserve energy until conditions improve. But hibernation isn't just a long nap. It's a complex biological state known as torpor, taken to an extreme. During true hibernation, an animal's heart rate can drop dramatically. Breathing slows to just a few breaths per minute, and body temperature may plunge close to the surrounding environment. In some cases, it falls to just above freezing. Metabolism, the rate at which the body uses energy, can decrease by up to 95%. It's as if the animal switches from high-performance mode to the bare minimum needed to stay alive. One of the most famous hibernators is the bear. Species like the American black bear and brown bear enter a winter sleep, during which their heart rate can drop from 40-50 to as low as 8 beats per minute. They survive months without eating, drinking, or eliminating waste, relying entirely on stored fat. Remarkably, bears maintain muscle and bone strength, a mystery scientists are studying to help humans in long-term inactivity or space travel. Bears aren't the most extreme hibernators. Small mammals like the Arctic ground squirrel take that title, dropping their body temperature below freezing to minus 2.9 degrees Celsius, 26.8 degrees Fahrenheit, without forming ice crystals, thanks to special proteins that protect their cells. Bats, like the little brown bat, hibernate on stored fat, but disturbances or diseases like white nose syndrome can force them to wake, wasting energy and risking starvation. Hibernation isn't limited to mammals. Certain reptiles and amphibians also enter similar states, often called brumation. Frogs in cold climates may burrow into mud or leaf litter, their bodies slowing almost to a halt. Some species can even survive partial freezing, with ice forming in spaces between their cells while vital organs remain protected. This ability relies on natural antifreeze substances in their tissues that prevent catastrophic damage. Interestingly, not all animals hibernate for the same reasons. While winter cold is the most common trigger, the real driving force is resource availability. In deserts, some animals enter a similar dormant state during extreme heat and drought, a process known as estivation. It's the same basic principle. When survival becomes too costly in terms of energy, slow down and wait it out. Before hibernation, many animals enter hyperphagia, overeating to build fat reserves, some relying on brown fat that quickly generates heat during brief arousals. Most hibernators don't remain in deep torpor continuously. They periodically wake, likely to maintain brain function, clear waste, or support immunity even though it consumes valuable energy. Not all animals hibernate because it requires specific adaptations and predictable seasonal hardships. Some migrate like birds, or stay active by changing diet or behavior. Hibernation evolved independently in multiple groups, a striking example of convergent evolution, since drastically reducing metabolism demands coordinated changes in heart, brain, hormones, and cellular protection, showing how powerful natural selection can be. Modern research into hibernation is opening doors beyond wildlife biology. Medical scientists are exploring whether hibernation-like states could be induced in humans during major surgeries or trauma care, slowing metabolism to reduce tissue damage. Space agencies have also considered whether astronauts on long-duration missions might one day use controlled torpor to conserve resources. What was once seen as a woodland curiosity may hold keys to future technology. There's also a quiet emotional dimension to hibernation. It reminds us that survival doesn't always mean constant activity. In a world that often values motion and productivity, these animals demonstrate the power of strategic stillness. They don't fight winter head-on. They don't waste energy resisting what they cannot change. Instead, they adapt, retreating, conserving, enduring. When spring arrives, hibernators reawaken, their heart rates and body temperatures returning to normal as life stirs around them. Hibernation isn't laziness, it's an evolutionary masterpiece. From bears to freezing ground squirrels, these animals show that survival often means patience and conservation rather than constant action. So the next time winter settles in and nature appears dormant, remember? Beneath the snow, life is waiting. Hearts are beating softly, breath is moving slowly, and deep within hidden shelters, animals are trusting in a biological promise that spring will return and they will be ready for it. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.